Hello. So today we're playing, or I'm playing Alien Swarm. This is a free game from Steam, and for those of you who don't know what Steam is, you should really check it out. It's basically free networking system kind of game oriented program. It's really sweet. And so anyway, so you just download this game, install it, and I'm going over the different classes, which I should have been explaining. But from the far left to the right, it goes from the officer. I can't remember. And then it goes to the special weapons, the medic, and the tech. The special weapons, basically your big, your hard ass, your Rambo. The medic, self-explanatory, and the tech basically unlocks doors and all that. And I have only played this for like 1 hour last night, so I'm not the biggest expert, and I shouldn't be reviewing this, but whatever, I'm gonna anyway. So basically, to use like the basic character, or basic controls for controlling your character, W, A, S, and D. That's what you want to use. You can use your right click to kung fu boxes, get them out of the way. Left click to shoot. Use your mouse wheel to change your weapons. Space bar to do a little roll like I did back there. And if you see the screen fade in and out, I had to cut through a lot of footage that I wasn't using because originally I had like 20 minutes and I had to cut it down in half, and I didn't want to speed it up to seem all cheesy and corny. So basically you're gonna see a lot of fade ins and fade outs on the way. So here we're coming up to the first combat sequence, or fight, or whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, there is friendly fire in this game. I'm not a big fan of friendly fire, and it is not a big fan of me. I have been killed by my friends many a times in many a different games because they thought it was funny, and it wound up wiping us all. Even in hindsight, I wasn't even the best. But anyway, yeah, so there's friendly fire, so you need to be careful with that. Yesterday I actually wound up killing a friend. It was kind of funny. We were like this huge epic battle and stuff like this, and I have my auto gun, and I'm just sitting there, I'm just like mowing everything down, and I shoot a little too far to the left, and I just took him out. He didn't even see that coming. But anyway, yeah, so I'm demonstrating the friendly fire there. And it gives you a warning when you shoot them, but I'm pretty sure it still takes off their health regardless. But I kung fu those bitches, you see that? This game's so fun. I mean, it's free, and it's just, I think it's totally worth it. It took me about an hour or so to download and install. Well, I mean, Steam automatically downloads it, and it's, well, not automatically downloads it and installs it, but it, like, when you're downloading it from the network, it's installing it to your computer as well at the same time, which I think is just great. I think it's a great idea. Anyway, so when a person dies, it actually goes slow-mo, and if you didn't see that, I like whipped around and shot him 360 or 180. It was great. But yeah, a lot of this is basically just me running around, getting lost, not knowing what I'm doing, because I just followed everyone else personally. I didn't pay much attention. But this game's really fun. I mean, like, you can also include your own soundtracks for the combat music, as they call it, and it's great. So like whenever you come up to like just this epic battle and you're like on an elevator, like later on, like you'll hear some Metallica playing, so I'm just like, yes, because I was in the options and it said like customized combat music, and it said you can add music. I'm like, huh, I wonder if they just have like a specific library that's set and I can just choose from that. But no, you can actually upload files from your hard drive and all this stuff. I'm like, yes, this is great. So I uploaded maybe like 10 or 15 tracks, and I only heard one so far. But I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the rest of that coming out. And I don't know if you can specifically see this, but that right there is one of the beauties of the tech. He can weld and unweld doors, which obviously seals off and unseals closed doors. And if, let's say, you and your team are in a tight spot, there's a door right there, and that's basically the only entrance. Go set up a turret facing that door, weld it. Actually, first you gotta weld it, set up a turret, and then you just wait for the aliens to come and break through that door, because like as soon as it's sealed, it'll actually, the door itself will actually get a health bar, which is great. And yeah, so they'll just come, they'll break through, and your turret will just mow everything down like I'm setting up one right now. And it's facing the right direction. All the enemies are coming in from the left, but for some reason, after it kills a couple, it decides to spin 180, and I don't know why. like right there, and it's never done that to me before. So it's up to me basically just to start mowing these bitches down. And of course there was like another minute of me trying to figure out that I had to hit the switch, but I skipped through all that because I needed to. Oh yeah, and the best thing is like when you're reloading, it's a specific time, like you can actually like kung fu bitches while you're reloading, and it doesn't affect that whatsoever. But this game's great. The action is just phenomenal, but we're gonna skip ahead to a little bit here. This is, oh, I guess this is another fight scene. Sorry, I thought I had the right moment, but I guess I don't. But yeah, this game's great. It's action-packed. I love the multiplayer aspect of it, and it's great because it's like free roam. You guys aren't stuck to each other's screen, which is, I absolutely hate that about some multiplayer games where it's just like, if you have one guy who's like sitting there texting and he's like, I'm not paying attention to the world, and everyone else is getting all pissed off at him and stuff like that. If you get left behind, you're screwed, essentially. Like, you need to stay together with the team. I think teamwork is definitely one of the biggest aspects incorporated with this game, and it's great. That and kung fu and assault rifles. It's great. This game's so much fun. I really enjoy playing it, because we were actually, the friends I was playing it with last night, I was hanging out with them, and so yeah, we just sealed off that one guy from coming in. He told me about like this Alien Swarm game. I was like, nah, whatever, it's nothing major, right? And then they wanted to play that instead of League of Legends. I'm like, okay, well, whatever, I'll just download it and I'll give it a shot. And it turns out it's great. You can expect a shit ton more videos coming from this. It's kind of like Left 4 Dead, where I think it has like a specific time, or not timeline, yeah, timeline, storyline, and, or as far as I'm aware of anyway, I've only played it for a couple hours, so I don't know all too much about it. I know it's worth a commentary or 12, but anyway, yeah. This game's great. So sorry, my Left 4 Dead idea track. It was, so I think like you just go back and just play the missions like you do in Left 4 Dead. But this here is the greatest. Watch the barrel of like the Syndicate block, and if I didn't move out of the way of that bridge, that actually would have came down and crushed my character, and I would have died. Like, this game's like pretty realistic. Like, I've seen that in the trailer for the game, and this one guy, well, I think that was the exact scenario, but one guy shot the barrel and one guy was standing under the bridge, and it actually squished him, and it went all slow-mo. It was like, this guy was killed in combat, and everyone's like, oh, you're a freaking idiot. So it's like, you really need to keep your eyes peeled when you're playing this game, and that's definitely one of the aspects that I really like. And here's another aspect. This one, well, you're gonna see it later, but it's a huge slow-mo fight, and it lasts, well, for a lot longer than I can actually show. But anyway, there you hear the Metallica playing in the background. It's great. Yeah, I was so amazed at the fact that they actually had like slow-mo and all this stuff like this. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Because I've never seen that from a game before. Well, I mean, like, well, sure, I've seen slow-mo. I've played The Matrix. But I'm just talking about for like a multiplayer 4-person top-down shooter with slow-mo. Shit's crazy, son. Shit's crazy. Anyway, so I had to skip to the end there because obviously due to time limit reasons. But anyway, this is part 1. I'm gonna have a part 2, which is the online gameplay, which is gonna be great. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to playing this again with my buddies. And I don't get this part. It says shoot the explosive, so I did, and nothing happened. I was thoroughly disappointed. Then that happened again. But anyway, go ahead, check out for part 2, because that's going to be even greater. I promise.